finally got me. Jury duty. Happy Sunday. Just finished my private clients. Getting ready to run here into First Watch and grab me some breakfast. The AM Superfood Bowl is fire. If you haven't tried it, I suggest you try it. Where's a lizard? Right on my windshield. I ain't never in 15 years had a lizard on the car.
Excuse me, sir. Are you scared of lizards?
It's on the outside.
I gotta get in the car though.
You got it.
Thank you. I'm ashamed of myself. It was just a little baby lizard, but still. If he'd have got in the car here with me, y'all had to call the people because I'd have been in here dead. This editing situation is whooping my tail. I don't know what I did wrong. I started editing June and somehow ended up editing July. I don't know how that happened. Hey, out here getting ready to follow Jose to the mechanic. His car is acting up. He had came to pick up breakfast and went to come back home and the car wouldn't start, but luckily he got it started. A quick update. I just signed up to take a course with Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income Community cohort that has YouTube from scratch. I had to go ahead and just jump in and get some help because I thought about when I first started my podcast years and years ago, before it was cool to be a podcaster and nobody even knew what a podcasting was. And I was just like out here figuring everything out on my own and piecemealing it together, and just how difficult it was. Yes, I didn't pay in money that I didn't have because we was broke, but I paid in time. So this time I'm like, okay, I'm doing the YouTube thing and I see I'm falling into those same patterns of not wanting to spend money. I don't want to waste my time when it's people have done it and I can get help and ask the questions that need to be asked, see what other people are doing, you know, so they can help me put systems in place so that I'm not getting burnt out, because eventually that's basically what happened with the podcast. I basically burnt myself out trying to do everything myself, learning everything myself. Here come Jose. Do I have him locked out? Learning everything myself, doing everything by myself. You can come in.
Oh, you were going off. I thought you were going off on somebody. We going in.
Shut up, Jose.
She looked like she was going in on somebody.
Like I was saying, I decided to go ahead and take the course because it doesn't make sense for me to be spinning my wheels, trying to figure everything out on my own, trying to piecemeal things, just watching YouTube videos and catching clips of podcasts and things like that here and there. I was like, let me just, for one, I'll have the resources, and for two, there's a community that I can ask questions, that we can help each other. So I'm not going to be on this journey by myself. There's like 20 something other people in the class. So we're all in different areas, different lanes right now, and trying to figure this thing out. That's why I decided to do it. So that's where I am right now. I just joined that. So we'll see, you know, where this leads. And at Jack's Old Fashioned Burgers with Jose. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Oh, I did good, y'all. So I'm getting so much better with my editing. So it's still taking me forever. This is the first video that I did beginning to end. Like, I got everything in the video. I got like a little short snippet at the beginning. Then I got the like teaser card, like my welcome card, the actual video. I got the only thing I don't have in this video is sound effects, but I got pictures like overlaid, I got music, I got the end card. So that video is me talking about replacing my Model 3. So that's gonna be a whole series. So I'm gonna take y'all on the whole journey. So make sure y'all subscribe So y'all can follow along this journey of me trying to find a replacement, just an alternative to this Model 3 to see if I can save some coins. My friend girl is having a pageant. It's called the Little Miss Blossom pageant. So if you are in South Florida and you have a daughter who's a pageant girl, make sure you go check out her website.
I am beautiful on the inside. I am positive. I am fearless.
Too much. Like I don't really have a lot of. Today is August 7th, day 7 of my sugar-free challenge. It's going well. Saturday, the 5th, I had to go to a birthday party for my sister-in-law, and of course there was cake, and they had a nerve to have a custom cake that looks so freaking good. But I did not partake. I did bring a piece home and put it in the freezer so that when this is over, I can partake. Oh, I also started taking chlorophyll today or yesterday. This is day 2 of chlorophyll, so I don't know. We'll see how my skin end up doing. Between the no sugar and the chlorophyll, your girl ought to be glowing. I'm having a identity crisis again when it comes to what I want to talk about on the channel. I've just been making videos that I want to make, just things mainly just to help me and learn how to edit videos, basically. I have a podcast called Job Optional Podcast. It's been dormant. My whole goal with the Job Optional Podcast, the reason I started it in the first place was because when I first got into looking at entrepreneurship, every single person that was a thought leader in the space did not look like me. They would say 90% white men, and then maybe 7% white women, and then the rest was others. But majority of all the thought leaders that was in the space of online business, entrepreneurship, business in general, you did not see us. You did not see black people or women of, especially women of color. You might see a black man, but you definitely did not see any women. It was like a needle in a haystack. There's nobody talking about business that can make it relatable to me and that I identify with. I can do it. I know as much as some of these thought leaders didn't know as much as I did, just based on the experience that I had, which was kind of shocking. I was talking specifically to women of color who wanted to launch a side hustle. Like they wanted to keep their 9 to 5. When I started the Job Optional Podcast, it was with the intention of just giving information. I didn't even really have a monetization plan. It was more so just to help people that were getting started so that they wouldn't have to be floundering around and trying to piecemeal things, put it together. I wanted it to be, A to Z. These are the steps you need to take, because there was nothing like that. There still isn't anything like that part, but you have no resource that you could go to that has the step-by-step, okay, this is what you do, A to Z, 1, 2, 3, do this first, focus on this. And I think that was my intention, to start you from very beginning. Okay, you have an idea, this is the key. You already know you have a passion already. You know what you want to do. You're not trying to, how can I get rich quick? Those people are not my tribe. My tribe is people that have a vision. They have a book. They have a ministry. They have a business. They're makeup artists. They're massage therapists. They already have a passion. They just need to know how to launch it, how to get seen, how to brand themselves, how to market themselves, how to get customers. So, I have a 2-part plan. So, part 1 is to activate Job Optional. So, basically doing everything that I was doing before, but I'm doing it with video now. So now I'm going to be focused heavy on YouTube. I'll repurpose some of that content for my podcast that is pretty much dormant, but it still gets people still listening to it. So I'll repurpose what is relevant to the podcast. So this is my plan. I'm going to focus on my online stuff now. So getting all my online assets going, running, just systemizing it and getting things done so that it can pretty much work on its own. Yeah, I'll still have to create content, but everything, all of the assets are in place to make it easy for me to do so. So activating, I already have a website that's already activated. I want to change a few little things again, since now that I have different branding for my YouTube page, I want to make it all be consistent. So just kind of tweaking the branding on the website. Also, same thing with my other social media. I haven't updated them in years. So just wrapping all the branding together, making sure it's cohesive. No matter where you find me at, it all looks the same. So you know, okay, yeah, that's her. So tweaking the branding. So my website, updating my email autoresponder, then creating content that makes sense for the brand. So I'll do a blog. I'll start doing my blog again, repurposing my vlogs or whatever I'm doing on YouTube to put some stuff on my podcast, just to kind of freshen it up and share what I'm doing now. Before, I was only sharing more like inspirational tips and things like that. Now I kind of want to go behind the scenes and show you what I'm doing. Like, there's nobody showing you A to Z, like how to do these things. And even when I started, but that was way back then, I had to piecemeal everything together. So I learned this from this one, this from that one. And I was just all over the place trying to put it all together. So it got done. It got done. The podcast is live and well. But it would have been so much easier if I had one source, kind of like this class I'm taking. Like, if I had one resource that I could have went to and found these answers, it would have just been so much easier for me. In here, whiteboarding my plans, and I wanted to get this down while it's fresh in my head. I probably won't share this, but if I do, I don't want to be, I know I look kind of crazy because my puff is all over. But yeah, anyhow, that's what it is. It's digital marketing for local small businesses that entails releasing optimized content over your assets, owned assets, that promote your brand and product. That promote your brand, because your product is usually your brand. When I say owned assets, I'm not talking about social media, even YouTube, because you can't own it. You can own the content that's on YouTube, but YouTube could go away tomorrow, and all of that can go away. So when I'm saying owned assets, I mean your website, a self-hosted WordPress website that you own. You own the domain name and you own your hosting. The other thing is your email. So basically creating a content ecosystem, because that's you, it's your intellectual property. You own it outright. Like, no matter what, you can take it to any platform and do anything with it because it's yours. If you wanted to have another asset, if you wanted a podcast, that would be another asset that you could actually own. So some small businesses, like, when I don't have a small business, but I can, just in doing the digital marketing that I did for just the podcast and my own personal stuff, it's a lot. Just that by itself is a lot. And then trying to run a business or start up a business on top of that, you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, the energy to take on too much. So, I wouldn't recommend that for every single business, but if that is something that you could do, a podcast could not hurt being an addition to your content ecosystem. But that is basically the ecosystem. And then what you would use to disperse all of your content would be social media. I'm gonna kind of zhuzh this up some, but that is the general idea behind what I'm doing right now. So I'm personally creating a content ecosystem. I have a website. All of these things I already have in place. I have a podcast that's still active. I have a website. I have an email subscription service, but I haven't activated any of these things to be monetized. So that is what the rest of this year is focused on. Building out the website and really creating a cohesive content ecosystem that can feed itself. And then setting up automation and systems in place to basically let it run itself. Of course, I'll still have to put some work into the content just to keep it flowing. But once the system is in place, it can feed itself. So all of the content that's there, I'll just pull from it to disseminate. So that's the goal. So I have my website. I have a podcast. I already have my email set up. I want to revamp it because I'm kind of rebranding somewhat. So everything that I have, I'm right now starting basically over because I'm starting at branding. So I want to redo my whole branding and make sure everything is cohesive, it's consistent, and it's clear. So once that's done, then I'll move back to the website and update everything. So new headers, new fonts, new pictures, setting up new email templates to, so that everything in the brand and my assets, if you see me on Facebook or you see me on the podcast, I want you to know that that's Janae Nicole. As soon as you see it, boom, that's her brand. I already know that that's her. Just like when you see Gary Vee or you see Pat Flynn or Aaron on Demand, as soon as you see their branding, you already know who that is. So that's what I'm working on, creating a content ecosystem that can feed itself. And ideally for me, I don't have a product. I don't plan right now. I don't have a product or a service that I want to provide. I know I can do certain things, but I don't desire to do certain things when it comes to digital marketing, because doing it for my regular job, it just kind of soured me on it. I do it for friends and family, and I don't mind it, but I don't see me doing that as a service at this time in my life, at least. So I want a somewhat passive content ecosystem that can feed itself and it can also generate income. So that is what I'm working on right now. So once I get that going and get it doing what it needs to do, then I'll look at possibly creating some sort of product. I doubt I will delve into any kind of service-based business, just because I don't want to create another job for myself. And a lot of times service-based businesses, if you don't have the right team behind you, can become another job. And I don't really want to, at this point in my life, manage too much people. So if I do have a small team, maybe 2-3 people at the max, I would never go over 3 people on the team. And prayerfully, even if I do put a team together, most of them would be contractors. I don't want to be dealing with payroll. I would just contract the work out. Anywho, I'm getting off tangent, but I just wanted to get my initial thoughts about my focus. because that's where I feel like job optional, I had the right idea, I had the right intent, I had the right motivation, but my messaging and my target audience was not, I don't want to say it was off. It was that the target audience that I have, they are the type of person, I know because I am her, we're going to do for everybody else before we do for ourselves. And any hopes, dreams, aspirations that we have, we're going to put it on the back burner. And that does not bode well for me. That, and a lot of them are not that tech savvy. But at the end of the day, the biggest hurdle that I find is, even with helping friends and family, it was that I wanted it for them more than they wanted it for themselves. And that was like super frustrating and made me be like, okay, I gotta change my approach here. So it's been a couple years in the making to get my thoughts together and what I want to do. But I think I am on the right track. So I anticipate looking back at this vlog in a year or 6 months and being like, okay, yeah, this is what you thought it was. So I hope y'all can. I hope Jose, he's in there watching the game, the NFL game, so I can kind of hear it. So I hope it's not interfering with my audio. But anyway, let me get off here because I do not have a lot of space on this. So Janae, 6 months from now, we're going to look back at this moment and we're going to be like, yo, yeah.
I guess you say, what can make me feel this way?